Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be making soap. And because it's October and we're going to have Halloween in a couple of weeks, I thought we would make an extra spooky soap. I was thinking with every month, I'm going to try to have a theme around the products that I make. And this is the first of that lineup. The theme that I chose for October is Haunted Forest. I'm very excited about this soap because I'm going to be including elements that I've never really played with before. I'm going to be adding some embeds. I'm going to be using some glow-in-the-dark powder. And we're just going to make this soap just scream Halloween. So if you want to see it all come together, then keep watching. This recipe is going to be very similar to the soy wax recipe that I used a couple of videos back for the last soap that I made. Only one key difference, I'm not going to be using nearly as much soy wax. The percentage of soy wax in that recipe was way too high. We're going to bring that down to 5% for this recipe. I did really like how smooth and hard the bars got though, but I'm the type of soaper that likes their swirls, and I think that hardened up way too fast for my comfort zone. I think at 5% I'll have the benefits of soy wax without the crazy acceleration. This isn't soy wax that I'm adding to the bowl right now. This is actually coconut oil. I'm measuring out the ingredients that need to be melted. That includes my coconut oil, some shea butter, and the soy wax. Next we have some beautiful shea butter. This is a raw, unrefined shea butter. Next we have the soy wax. So there we go. We're just gonna melt this down until it becomes completely liquid. So now that that is melting, I usually jump right into melting my soft oils, but I'm going to prepare my embeds instead before I do that. And for my embeds, I'm gonna be using a melt and pour soap. This is some Stevenson melt and pour base that I got from Fizz Fairy, and this is their crystal base. So the soap that you make with this will be clear, which is good because I want to make some glow-in-the-dark embeds. So we're going to cut out chunks of this melt and pour so we can get it going in the microwave. We have to get the melt and pour out so that we can chop it up. One of the things that I want to do once my company is open is to incorporate more melt and pour soap products in my line. I find that melt and pour soap is a really underrated medium. You can create such cool things with melt and pour soap, and I've seen a lot of soap companies just killing it with their melt and pour soap creations and charging quite a bit too, and people are paying them. So this is a good start. I'm going to get this melting in the microwave in 30-second blasts. Because this is a Twilight Woods theme, I'm using a star mold. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe there. Yeah, a star mold, a crescent moon mold, and a tree mold. All of these are from Fizz Fairy, and I have links to them all down below if you are curious about using them yourself. The stars and the moon are going to be colored with a glow-in-the-dark pigment, and then for the tree it's just going to be a white, like a sparkly white. So here is the melt and pour soap. I'm going to add some dark blue glow-in-the-dark powder, about 1/8 teaspoon. I'm going to stir that in. And the melt and pour is solidifying on me a little bit here, but that's okay. I am okay with that. We're going to pour this into one of our column molds. Let's try the moon one first. We're going to pour it into here. Hopefully it all stays together. I don't see any soap leaking out, which is a good thing. Next up we have the star. While those are solidifying, I'm also going to be pouring that same melt and pour with the glow-in-the-dark pigment into these leaf silicone molds, which I picked up from Amazon. I had so much fun with the silicone molds for my body butter. I'm really excited to see how melt and pour does with these types of molds. So I'm gonna go grab my melt and pour. I'm just gonna pour it right into these guys. Got some pine cones here. Got this really nice detailed leaf here. And I think we have a few feathers, which all fit into the theme of this soap. Twilight, haunted, wood. Got these bigger leaves here. The idea is that these leaves will sit on top of the soap and glow in the dark. So for the tree, I'm gonna do a white shimmer mica instead of a glow in the dark pigment. Just stir it it to get it all incorporated. And then you have the tree. Here goes the tree embed. So we have some melt and pour with that white sparkle mica. I'm going to pour it into the rest of these molds here to get some white shimmery leaves that I can put on top that won't be glow in the dark, but will still have that magical feel to them. So we're just going to let all these embeds harden up. But speaking of hardening embeds, we have the moon one ready, I think, which is perfect because I have a 20-inch long mold and I need 2 of these. So let's go ahead and unmold the sky. So to unmold, you just pull silicone apart. Then you have a perfect long embed that will go inside of your log of cold process soap. And hopefully this will glow in the dark, which will add a really fun, spooky element to the soap. So let's make another one of these so that I have at least 2, so that it goes down the full length of my soap. So these melt and pour embeds are solidified and ready to be unmolded. It's been maybe 20 minutes or so, but I'm excited to see how they've turned out. Wow, that's really cool. Let's see how this big one turned out. Beautiful. Wow, look at the detail in that embed.
The rest of the embeds came out easily and each one was prettier than the last. There's something so calming and satisfying about unmolding embeds. I just love it so much. I then unmolded the other long embeds and that was a delight too. The tree turned out amazing. I'll definitely be using these for more projects. After I got the embeds out of the way, I then measured out my liquid oils. For this soap, I'm using olive oil, sweet almond oil, and castor oil. I've been enjoying my palm-free recipes more and more, and I think I may just use this blend of oils for my soaps when I reopen.
So for the fragrance and colors of the soap, I was deeply influenced by Twilight Woods, the Bath & Body's version, this product right here, which is a liquid, I think it's a shower gel. I wanted to recreate those same notes in my own blend, and I'm going to mix a few Moe Rouge fragrances. I'm going to mix peach and tea, blackberry bourbon, cranberry sandalwood, and some pink grapefruit essential oil. And this is the color palette that I'm going to be drawing inspiration from. It's going to be a black soap base with blue, purple, and pink swirls throughout, and also the embeds. So for the black part, I'm going to scent it in the blackberry bourbon and the cranberry sandalwood because these two have a little bit of vanillin in it, which will cause discoloration in soap, and in a black soap base, you won't notice that as much. We're going to put about 1/3 of the entire fragrance oil amount in this first blend. Oh, I love blackberry bourbon from Moe Rouge. It smells so good. Here is the cranberry sandalwood. We're just going to use a little bit so that it doesn't overpower the soap. It's just going to be a base note of sandalwood. So this is our first blend. Next we're going to do our brighter notes, the peach and the grapefruit, and then the peach. And then we're going to add the littlest bit of pink mimosa from Fizz Fairy, which has a really fizzy, light scent. That smells really, really nice all together. So here's the melted coconut butter, shea butter, and soy wax. I'm just going to add it to the liquid oils that I measured out and combine them. There we go, and give this a bit of a stir to disperse that kaolin clay that I added, and we should be ready to pour. So we are about ready to pour our soap. I'm going to put on my eye gear to protect my eyeballs, and we're going to add our lye. So here is the final poured soap. Kind of looks a bit of a mess right now, but I'm sure once I cut into it using my brand new soap cutter, which I'm really excited about, I think the inside of it's gonna look really, really interesting. It did set up on me faster than I thought it would, but it was really manageable. I was able to get some swirls in, I think, and I managed to get most of my embeds into the soap. I still have a few extras here, so I'm going to save them and melt them down for another project. Look how pretty these embeds look inside of the soap. I think it looks really, really interesting. But I have a huge mess to clean up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and come back tomorrow so I can cut this soap and see what it looks like on the inside. Hey guys, we are back. It is the next day, and here is how the soap solidified. And I think it looks really, really cool so far. It's a little lighter than I expected, and it's probably because I didn't use enough neon pigment, but I do like the pastel hues that I'm getting from this soap. And to get it out of this mold is super easy. This is a Winston & Walter soap mold, and this is their tall and skinny mold. Might be their extra tall and skinny. Whatever the mold is, I have it linked down below. I posted a video of the freshly poured wet soap to my Instagram, and one of my friends messaged me saying that it reminded him of Sailor Moon, and I was not intending it to give Sailor Moon vibes, but I'm not mad at that because I love Sailor Moon. Okay, pulling it out. It smells so good. And it looks really cool. Let me give you the soap log shot. 5 pounds of cold processed soap right here. And it looks pretty cool from the sides as well. I cannot wait to cut into it. And guess what? We are gonna be using my new soap cutter for the first time. So let's bring it out here. This is my first official soap cut using my new soap cutter. And I know I had that station set up for cutting soap, but I think for the very first time I want to do it under these bright lights in front of the camera here and in front of you guys, because you guys have been a big part of my journey and I want you to witness this with me. So let's just go ahead and do this. Yes, and it clears those tops, which is good.
Yeah, so the soap cutter was having some difficulty cutting through the soap log. It would not cut through. I have a feeling it was the melt and pour embeds because the soap itself was pretty soft, or maybe I'm super weak and not used to it. I don't know, but it did cut through eventually.
Okay, that took a lot more strength than I thought I would need. All right, so let's pull up a bar from the middle. So here's a tree, there's a star, there's the moon, and you can see the marks where I struggled to really bring that cutter down. And I really think it was the melt and pour that made it hard to cut through, which I was not expecting. Here is the other one. I definitely was not expecting cutting the soap to be that hard. And I didn't think that the embeds would make it that difficult, but it definitely did. You see where the embed prevented the soap from going down. I have a bit of a gap there, but I don't mind. This is where I had an embed that fell out. That's okay. I'm getting used to all of that. This is a brand new method for me. So I was not expecting perfection. You can watch all the soap cutting videos you can and still be surprised by the actual process of it. This one has a really nice leaf embed stuck to the side. I think this one turned out really cute. I know I did not intend for the track marks to be there, but it kind of looks like rays, like moon rays. I wish they were coming from the moon, but you know, happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say. I definitely think it was my embeds. Look at that beautiful swirl off to the side there. Another one where the embed fell off. So sad. Here you can really see the roughness of the wires. Oh, I like the swirl in this one a lot. Okay, now to do this last block. Let's go from this side. There we go. Oh, this one's a lot easier to push down. I think having to push down through so much soap at once is just something I'm not used to. See, that one was super easy. Come on. Oh, this one turned out really pretty. Love it. See, these ones are going to turn out so much better because that cut went down so much smoother. See, this is what it looks like without those rough marks. Again, lost an embed. I'm okay with that. The purple, pink, and blue combo, so cool in soap. I love it. And these new soap bars are much thicker than how I used to cut my soaps, but they will fit much better in those soap boxes that I bought from Amazon. My thoughts on the Soap Cutter Pro: it made cutting a lot faster, except for that initial struggle where I couldn't even bring this down properly on the soap. I think I just have to be stronger. Maybe not use so many embeds, melt and pour embeds in the soap, because I think that stopped the strings. When I was cutting the shorter loaf, it went through so much easier. So it really is maybe a matter of cutting the log in half first instead of having to cut like a longer log and then a shorter log. Maybe I should distribute the log length, just do half at a time. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that was your experience with a soap cutter like this, that it was really hard for you in the beginning. But I was so glad to finally try this out. I'm already in love with it and I can't wait to cut more soap with it. I already feel like the footage that I got using this soap cutter is better, a lot better than the footage I would get using a single bar cutter. So I definitely think that my soap cutting social media posts will be a lot more enjoyable for people. And yeah, it was a struggle. They didn't come out perfect, but you know what? For a first try, this is pretty darn cool. Oh, and the smell of it is really nice too. Whew. Hey guys, it is the next morning after I've cut these soaps, and the glow-in-the-dark pigment that causes the glow in the melt and pour embeds has been charging, so it should glow in the dark. So I'm gonna take this into the bathroom and show you guys. Whoa, oh my god. It took a little while for my camera to focus on the embeds because it's so dark in here, but look at that, that looks so cool. Wow. Wow. If you want the recipe and steps for the soap, including the fragrance oil blend, everything, even the steps to make these melt and pour embeds, you can find that on my Patreon. Speaking of the Patreon, thank you to everyone who chooses to support me on there. I appreciate each and every one of you, from my $1 folks all the way up to the $50 folks. But I also want to thank the people who support me by watching all of my videos and my shorts, that leave a like, that leave a comment, all of you subscribers, everyone who just supports me on this channel. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You are appreciated. Next week is going to be a fun one. Kayla and I are hosting Canadian Thanksgiving for his family here in Washington State in America. And I want to make some fun soap guest favors, and I want to share that with you. And yeah, it'll probably be another vlog. More experimenting, more crafting. That's what we love to do on this channel. So if you want to see more of that, please subscribe. And until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.